So could you just tell me your name
Yes.
and who you work for? Or what
Yes.
you do?
My name is, I'll spell it as well. Josh Bernstein, JoshBernstein, and I am the CEO of the First Light Group. And that's you want for the editor? Or do you want just want me to tell you who I am for real, for the?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm my name's Josh. I'm the CEO of the First Light Group, which includes the First Light Foundation, First Light Studios, and First Light Education.
And what brought you to the ALIA conference today?
I think that for me, on the philanthropic side, I work with foundations that are passionate about making the world a better place, and that's not exclusive to just the United States. So coming here to Mexico and getting exposure to Latin American family offices and people who share a passion for making the world better, it's been a great conference for me.
And what kind of people have you met at the event?
It's been a mix of people. You want me to incorporate you're going to edit out your questions?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I've met a nice range of people, from entrepreneurs to family office managers to the families themselves, people who've come because they believe passionately in their missions. So every seminar and every meal has been just a wonderful opportunity to connect with people.
So could you just tell me your name and the company that you work for?
My name's Phil Earle. I'm Chief Executive of Agravert from the UK.
And what does Agravert do?
We turn food waste into energy.
And is this your first ALIA event that you've been to?
It is. We're working with Mohammed on a project in Kuwait, and he suggested it would be a good thing to come along to this summit.
And what are your kind of general impressions of ALIA Family Office Investment Summits based on this one so far?
Well, I can see it's clearly bringing together a lot of people, whether that's from family offices, but also advisors and potential suppliers to the family offices to bring new investments and opportunities to everybody.
And you can be a little bit vague, but is there anything that you already know that you've kind of got out of this event as a result of the people that you've met, perhaps that you wouldn't have otherwise, or even the panels that you've seen?
Well, I think one of the things I came here for was to try and understand whether Latin America was a market that would be worth Agravert trying to get into. And I think there's some early indications that it might be somewhere that would be good for anaerobic digestion moving forwards, yeah.
So could you just tell me what your name is and who you're representing?
Yes, my name is Eglantina Zing, and I represent all the young girls and women that want to have a chance, that are empowered, that are doing a change in the world to create more inclusion and equal opportunities in the field and off the field. I am the CEO and founder of a foundation called Goleadoras, Goleadoras, Goleadoras as goalkeepers. And what we do there is, through the magic of soccer, we use that sport as an instrument to instill in these young girls at an early stage social emotional skills that will help them excel in any sector out of the field, to be agents of change and have a real chance of having a dignified life. With those values that they come of communication, of leadership, of teamwork, of sorority, they are able to make better decisions and become, as I say, multipliers, agents of change in the world.
And so what brought you to the ALIA event today? What did you want to achieve by coming here?
Well, Alba invited me to be in this panel to talk about how inclusion and diversity are important. These are all family offices who are probably the biggest leaders in all the private sector. And if this is not for charities, not the John Lennon song about imagine all the people and we're all going to go la 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 la, but it's actually a great business, and they are missing out in having 50% of the talent included in the businesses just because of the gender. So what we're trying to do, and the message, and throughout the results that we have done through the organization of Goleadoras, we want to invite them to actually be more open and have more girls in the seats and the opportunities to have a seat and show their talents in their businesses. So ultimately, what we came here to say is that to take a chance, that it's a great opportunity and a great business.
So could you just tell me your name and what you do?
Sure.
If we
My
needed
name
to.
is Gaston Pavlovich. I'm founder and chairman of a production company called Fábrica de Cine or Fábrica Global Media in the United States.
And what kind of work will people know you for?
Well, my last picture was the 11th nominated Oscar film called The Irishman, with Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci. Before that, I did Professor and the Madman with Mel Gibson and Sean Penn. And before that, 10 other films.
And what brings you to the Alia events this week?
Well, I feel that in my industry, it's a blooming industry that is inquiring everything related to technology and to new ventures. We are integrating more into the business sector. And I was fortunate enough to be invited here to have this networking session with extraordinary people from all over the world that allow me to explore ideas on partnerships, mergers and acquisitions, new technologies, anything that can take our company and our industry to the next level.
And what do you think you've got out of the event so far? I know it's hard to say because we're only partway through day 2, but is there anything that you know that you've already seen or heard, or some people that you've met, anything like that?
Absolutely, especially in the tech sector. There's some great guys here coming out of the technology sector that I've started to have great meetings with. We're already following up, and they're into what we do, and they understand that in the tech sector they can come up with some artificial intelligence technologies with what they do that could be implemented in my business. So a lot of good follow-up meetings already lined up after this event.
And so last question, if you had to kind of sum up the kind of people that are at the events, the Alia events, based on this one, what would you say? What kind of people are here?
Entrepreneurs who have an enormous strength of pushing their business and their agenda. Innovative people who are open to explore ideas of how to integrate their sectors with other sectors and come up with new ideas, new ventures, risk takers, which really, in my kind of business, you got to be a risk taker. And so I'm really glad to have been meeting people that have made extraordinary achievements or are about to make extraordinary achievements.
Okay, so could you start off by just telling me your name and the company?
My name is Ian George, Managing Director at George Wicks Limited, based essentially in London, England, and we broker investment and commercial deals across the global professional sports sector, primarily the global professional football sector, and England being the most lucrative commercial sports sector in the world.
And is this your first Alia event?
This is my first Alia Global Group event. It will not be my last. After the pandemic, I'm all zoomed out, totally zoomed out. You've got to get off your backside, come to events like this. It's the best opportunity to meet people that otherwise you wouldn't have the opportunity to meet. And throughout the 2-day event, I've met a number of individuals where I think the prospects for completing investment deals in those sectors, commercial deals, are very tangible. And that just wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have come. And I've already registered for my attendance at Dubai, and I may actually pop into Lake Como. Who knows?
And what kind of people, if you had to kind of summarise what kind of people come to this event, these kinds of events, based on this one, what would you say?
Well, clearly from a family office standpoint, there's capital to invest. I think so many people associate family offices with investing in real estate, but that's terribly boring. Everybody invests in real estate. There are alternative sectors. Sport has a lot of real estate associated with it, so you can combine the two. But there's, I think, a passion as the world emerges out of COVID to re-engage, not via Zoom, and take the world forward and start building the economies for the losses that they've sustained during COVID. So, it's an excellent platform to progress your interests.